that's what's going on, guys.
Excellent. We seem to be on again.
Yes.
That's been for so long. Cheerios.
Uh-huh. Now, question: do we have some? Oh yes, we do have some listeners. Can you hear us? That's our first question of the night.
Night, day, afternoon,
Uh-huh.
wherever you may be.
Yep.
As it seems to be Frogscan, I do believe the latest intel tells that it is Israel.
Okay. Right. So we'll get on to the story. So, episode 3, Family Fortunes.
Oh dear. Oh my. I hope it's not mine.
Yeah, you're writing out the will. No. Oh shit! I shouldn't have
Not
said
like
that straight
I
away.
have. It's not like I have fortune, so whatever he's talking about is definitely on you, man.
Right.
Perhaps they're talking about family misfortune.
Mm.
Then they're definitely talking about you again.
So the situation has opened. Yeah. Hold on. Reposition screens without. Okay. So we find ourselves. Well, they find themselves on a boat going all the way back to Cairo. The memories of what's happened at Luxor, potentially heavy in mind for some characters. One for, but one character though has something else in mind as he is gasping as the Batman and Mr. Relish administers to certain wounds. There. So, can I? Because you currently have got the Imperil, okay? We're going to try and do our roll.
Okay.
One small detail. You still have the pre-game banter mode on.
Oh yes, of course.
I still have to what?
I've just got a wee message in this.
We do have a tradition of pre-game and post-game banter on the Babylon Project. This time we sort of failed that duty as I myself was late.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So are we bantering about Babylon?
Yeah.
And you know, it's been really solid so far. I don't think the Sumerians are going to take them. They seem like a really solid army. Never know.
I thought we.
But you have to admit that the grain-based economy can't stay because you can make as much grain as you want.
You know, all I know is they've had some really solid leaders. You know, as long as the Scythians stay back, and as long as the Mamelukes don't take them, I think they're going to be around for a while. You know, I know this is the fifth the fifth guy in charge. You know, he's had a few people before him that should be, that have given us some experience. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show at all. And by that I mean the TV show or the RPG show. So
Fair enough.
cheers to Babylon.
We have to do something behind the sauna with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that enough banter for you guys? 'Cause, I mean, I pulled that out, so I didn't even know we were going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just going to be.
Everyone in the chat, you're welcome.
Yep. So you've just got a plain opposition roll there. It's just going to be a +4 you have to beat. Just a 4.
How am I rolling that? Because I have no idea. Why don't we explain to the people at home what imperil means? What we have to do?
Yeah.
Totally not because the guy in peril doesn't know what to do, but purely for the audience.
Of course. Right. So, as you remember in the last episode, a certain person jumped in front of an energy ball that was going to paste some American cowboys. But due to the damage that was done, for Evan to stay in the fight, he had to mark off the Emperor condition that allowed him to absorb some of his damage there. But it then means that he is now taken a nasty wound to his side, and this is us actually trying to see if the party's administration in this episode is enough to let it start healing for him to then gain the use of the imperiled condition there. If not, we'll then have to keep going on a wee bit further, right, until that is resolved or it has received sufficient medical attention there. So this is where you can start having some very nasty injuries and limping on into fights there. Right.
So for those at home, just to recap, on the last episode, we met. We knew Heimler or Heimlich or God starts with an H, so it's German.
Yeah,
And-
Himmler.
Yeah, and he turned out to be like a cult leader for like an evil big baddie. I met like the dragon of the team, like second in command, and she was all cocky and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
While Wooster was enlisting the help of multiple people around
Mm-hmm.
for the big fight. Wooster's team blew up the ruins while attacking the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the ground, basically just kind of wailing my sword and slashing through all of the people like a giant tornado. And at one point, Heimler or the big bad lady, one of the two.
I was the lady.
Yeah, shoots a giant energy ball.
Mm-hmm.
I do a giant diving save, and I take the hit, but my obliques, my right oblique has a pretty nice burn. And then Heimlich went into a portal, and I was unable to follow him, which led us to our current situation on the boat to Cairo.
Yes.
You are now caught up.
Yes, that's quite succinct, actually.
That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how do I roll this in peril?
Yeah, so
I got a giant a gape of flesh where an oblique muscle was. So I'd like to be able to see if that's going to get fixed at some point.
uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be just I'm gonna say you're gonna roll on an intellect, okay? Because
Alright.
you're using whatever medical knowledge you've got to help.
To assist.
Well, basically, into direct and relish in helping you
Okay.
there.
So I just roll the intellect.
Just roll an intellect. And we'll just
Okay.
see what comes up.
5.
You can knock it off there.
Oh, knock off like take off the imperil.
Yep, just
Okay.
I'll mark it, and you'll gain the use of that again if anything was to happen where you need it.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So and I lose the benefit of. So you find yourself with stuff, but it's not as bad as anymore. But you're bandaged up and all that. There.
Got it.
Okay. So the boat travels down the Nile, and because you're going downstream, it took about, I think it was a week. I said going the way up because you're going downstream. You end up shaving a couple of days off instead. But you arrive to the city in a massive furor. They're shouting and screaming.
Oh, real quick, I did want to point out to the audience, because we were at the end of a story milestone. Lord did offer both Wooster and I the ability to get a minor milestone.
Yep.
You have the Dresden. If you have the Dresden book, it's on page 116. You can switch around a couple things. It's
196.
minor, right?
You're thinking of Imperil. Is 116.
Oh, sorry.
196. Yep.
196. But both Wooster and I opted to wait just to see what we come up with for later. So if you're like, well, they haven't leveled up yet, or the equivalent thereof, we did technically. It's just neither Rooster or I opted to utilize it at this time.
Yes.
Which also might be why if he does another level up in a little while, like whether it's this session or next session or whatever, and you're like, why are they getting all this stuff? Well, we're cashing in from before us.
Yes. I'm not an evil GM. I do not force them to use it or lose it. I am allowing them to use it when they want to use it. There. I am benevolent that way. Worship me.
I am a benevolent god.
Yes.
All right, I've interrupted the benevolent god enough with the Cairo book.
Yes. Right. So the boat pulls into the docks at Cairo, and you find 2 lines of British soldiers waiting for you. And there's a very distressed lieutenant waiting on the docks, and he just runs up and he goes, just shocked. He goes, Captain Wooster.
That's Captain Redwood.
Sir, you're alive?
Unfortunately, yes.
We
Now, please arrange for the motor to take us to the Colonel's office at once.
yes, sir. Give me a moment. So you see, the lieutenant goes off to the side. He sends a corporal off herring down the street. There, and the lieutenant comes back and he goes, "Well, Captain, we're a wee bit surprised to actually see you. We've received news of what happened in the city. That we believed you were dead. The entire garrison's killed."
You are not entirely incorrect. Unfortunately, most of the soldiers died. Only myself and my batsman made it out alive out of the enlisted men at the station, including the commissioned officer. God bless his soul, he was a brave man. Now,
And the people are saying that there was a massacre of the locals. I mean, what happened? So the entire city is in chaos. We got the telegram a day ago.
The telegram station is still in working order. So it wasn't. Very well. I will report my findings directly to the Colonel himself. This is now at a need-to-know basis, and you, sir, do not need to know.
Yes, sir. And as you're saying that, there's the wee chatting of a very old-fashioned car. You know the type. Pulls into view. And the lieutenant goes, "Your car, sir." There.
Very well. American, you're with us.
If you don't mind, sir, we're not in a military situation anymore. I've got a little bit of business I'd like to take care of. But,
I do actually mind.
Well, all right. Let me put it to you this way: I'll find you, and I start walking off.
That was not a request.
I would like to. How do I want to do this? I would, because we're at the Cairo docks, right?
Yeah.
So I want to, assuming my aspect of secret order is unknown to others, I would like to try to find like a back of the shipping containers or something and kind of dart away. See if I can get with some of my secret order contacts without the general.
Right, okay. What you're going to find is your mission from God stunt. So you're looking at the men, you know you can't pull out so you're not going to have the blessing of God to
No.
cut these men down. So
No.
whatever you're doing is going to be based purely on what you can do, where you can talk yourself
Yeah.
out, or just do a straight foot race. This is what I just want to be clear about. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's off. You're not going to get in your
I,
faith.
I feel like On a Mission from God is fairly straightforward. It's one of those like, okay, this is supernatural. I am attacking the
big bad, yeah.
yeah, and or I'm trying to get in contact with the Vatican, so that's not right. You know what I mean? Like it seems fairly cut and dry on
Yeah,
that one.
you're just you're doing a wee report at the follow-up. At the
Yeah.
moment, you do not know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Right, so
Now,
that's...
Wooster had this hand up as if, well, I'm going to do something. So what is Wooster going to
Yes.
do?
Well, if he's attempting to escape, there is the captain's order, like, seize the man.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to have it as a contested role between the two of you.
Okay.
Right?
PvP.
So what? So I would think that I would be looking for, because I'm not really going for haste. I'm a dude that has a not so subtle sword, on one side of his leg there, and I wasn't a very fast dude to begin with. It's more that I'm looking for alleyways. I want to evade, not outrun. So what approach would that be?
I would say potentially like a guy, maybe a guy role. You're think, or even, or maybe intellect. No, well, guy would be if you're grabbing like, clothing off the, off a clothesline as you're running.
No, I'm
Die.
thinking more like, oh, I could probably squeeze in there, I think, or
That would be
or,
haste.
oh, that's,
That would be under haste then.
Okay.
If it's going to be clear, just running and just trying to get ahead, and it's going to be more your deck. So haste is more your deck
Okay.
stuff.
And then what's he rolling?
Right, yeah, I would say
Worcester is not personally going to.
No.
Obviously not.
I am.
Out of the question.
Yes, it's going to be his presence. So I think it's going to be his power. It's going to be the power of his command and getting these soldiers to suddenly start, even though they're not under his command, to obey him. There.
So is that flair or guile? Neither way, it's
It
gonna
might be actually depend. It could be power of his voice, or it could be flair also.
I still think mine is more looking for hiding places.
Looking,
outrun.
could be focus. Then.
Okay, because that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for hiding places. I'm not trying to outrun. I'm
Yep.
trying to out hide.
Yeah.
That would be guile.
Or it could
So
be guile.
guile versus focus.
It could be. I would argue if it might be more guile if you're literally, as I said, doing like the Assassin's Creed, grabbing clothing, putting it over you. That would be more guile. If it's more about you,
Giant sword, can't rock climb well.
it then might be just plain focus. You just actually trying to quickly see something that you think, you know what, they're not going to go into that place. Yeah.
So his guile or flair versus my focus.
It's going to be your focus. I would say it's not really guile because he's not lying. He's not doing a deception there. It's more going to be. It's either power or flair. It's really how you.
We don't have power. You keep saying power.
Power. What is it? What's the word power?
So that's
Force. Sorry.
Okay, because that's why I was getting confused. I
Sorry.
was like, there is no power.
There's only force.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just thinking power because it's force is basically this game's version of strength. So I'm just interchanging them. It helps if the GM does not interchange the attributes
Frog
of the game.
Standard says power of his voice, like yelling really, really loud.
Yeah. Force
right.
of command. There.
All right. Well, pick your role, man.
So which one is it?
It's whichever one you think's appropriate.
I would think flair is more appropriate as it is.
I would too.
You're just like as you're doing it, you're like swishing your coat bat sort of thing.
So,
Go get him.
fixing the coffin.
Yeah,
Thanks
fair
to
enough.
the man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll the focus then.
Okay.
Got a 1.
What what I'm willing to give you is because you were mentioning your secret order. I'm going to give you a free fate point.
Okay, then yeah, I want to add a +2 so we tie.
You could do the reroll, or is he?
Yeah, I'll do a reroll because I've got 3. I've got good in focus. Yeah, I'll do a reroll. Okay, it was even worse. So,
Whoops.
all right.
Wow, that's
Sometimes-
a line of mines.
So sometimes it works and sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
So I assume I get captured fairly easily.
Yeah. It's just before you're just like starting to look there, and what just happens is you start running off, and most of them are following you, and it's like you're kind of just looking down one alleyway, thinking, "Oh, there might be a place," and you just quickly turn around and you just slam into the biggest soldier you've ever seen.
Just out of curiosity, if we had tied, what would have happened? Because the entire premise is get caught or not get caught. There is no middle.
I probably would have thought what one would be more fun.
All right. So I assume giant big baddie boy brings me back.
Oh yeah, he actually just huffs you up by the collar, and is just dragging you, and he just casually deposits you onto the ground and says, "I believe you were looking for this gentleman, Captain."
Excellent work, Sergeant Major. Please escort him to the colonel's office. And Captain sits down into the motor on the back seat.
And of
For
course,
the record, Lord, Captain, Lieutenant guy, yeah, I take orders from you in an emergency, but you can't hold me. I'm not even a British citizen. Whatever. And I start walking to where he said for me to walk to. But I'm very lackadaisical by the whole thing, and I'm very upset by giant dude. So I'm like watching him like above, and I'm just kind of like got my hand by my sword because I'm not intimidated by him. I'm more annoyed than anything else. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I mean, I see you. I'm going, but for the record, I'm choosing to do this.
give me a guile roll, please.
Okay, I don't know for what.
Because just that question, how obvious is it that you've got the sword? This is what I'm going to ask you.
I mean, it's a long sword. It goes, if I remember how we set it up, the tip just reaches to my ankle bone.
Yeah, it's a cavalry
So
saber, yeah.
So like you can't see it under the leggings, but like there's a decent size, I tend to walk very straight legged,
Yeah.
and you can see the point on my ankle.
So you're not like you're kind of underneath the trouser leg. Yeah. That's what I was clarifying. If you were wearing it open, like kind of concealed or open reveal. That's what I was asking. Right, guile. Okay. It's just I want to see if the sergeant major notices the weapon.
Is there a sword in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, I'm not worried if he sees it or not. That's just how I hold it. So.
Okay, and your result, sir, is
-1.
Yeah. So my guy, he's just gonna go. Can I carry your weapon, sir?
I want to invoke the bearer of asparagus and just like look him dead in the eyes and be like, no, you can't. And I don't care if he's like a foot and a half taller than me and like a solid 50 pounds on me, if not more, like maybe 70 pounds. At a foot and a half. I don't know how much that is, but but yeah, I'm just like dead in the eyes. I'm like, no.
Okay, what's gonna happen is he's just going to give you that stare back, okay? It's another contested roll, okay? Just to see what happens there. This one's just going to be a straight.
Now, what does the bear of asparagus that you made me put on for aspects do again?
That just basically. Well, you've got the bear of asparagus. If you're going to use that as you're going to invoke it. You can do your +2 or your reroll there by
Yeah.
using a fate point. Okay, when you do the roll.
Because because for it's a mystical sword. It's only
Oh yeah,
going to work for me.
yeah. You.
So,
It's not even that. You're responsible for that thing. You don't want anyone else touching it.
well,
No.
well, I'm saying I didn't know anybody else could touch it. Is what I'm asking. I
Oh,
didn't think that was a
other
thing.
other people can pick it up, right? But they will not gain the benefit of it because they're not, they're not a Knight of the Cross. They don't have the faith to actually gain the benefits of it. You're
Okay.
one who knew.
So, for example, Rooster could pick the sword up and hack people with it, but wouldn't get any magical powers out of it.
Yeah,
So is that my mantle then? If he's trying to take it.
yeah. So this is the thing. So it's really just I'm wanting just to see whether or not if you can like basically outstare this guy, into right. I just want to see how he does this. So it's
So
just
what is that? What role?
I would say force. There, it's just the force of your stare. Okay. How?
As opposed to the focus, as in laser focus on him.
Well, you could do focus about who blinks first.
Well, yeah, I was like, that would make sense. I'm focused on
Okay.
him.
Do
Well,
yeah.
I thought it would be focus or mantle, not force. Okay. I'm going to be focus.
Yeah. Okay.
2.
Yeah. You're staring at him. He lets you start staring back at you, looking down at you, and he starts wiping his eyes and he goes, "Fuck this shit. Come on then, let's just go to the barracks."
I mean, I walk with him. Again, I said, I'm going where you want to go.
Oh, he just doesn't like you carrying a sword on him. Sword on you.
He cannot like it all he wants.
Mm.
If I'm going to perpetuate an American stereotype, I might as well perpetuate it. So,
Yeah. Okay, so turning to the actual captain there. So the car's being driven by Mr. Relish. It's quick and efficient. He's putting on a wee bit of gas, a bit more than usual.
Something the matter, Mr. Hellish?
Sir, have a look at the crowds out the window. And what you see is you're seeing crowds of people just staring at the car and at the flag that's flying off the actual, how you got your diplomatic cars there. It's one of those. They're seeing the Union flag on it, and they're
It's
staring.
not like they need to see the Union flag to recognize a British officer out here.
And he's just going, yeah, but this crowd's nasty. Didn't that lieutenant say they heard about people have heard about what's happened at the city, at Luxor?
Yes. Hardly we can do anything about it now. All we can do is our duty.
So he pulls into the barracks, and what you'll notice, the walls normally the last couple of times you've been to the barracks, it's just a couple of guys at the gates. Most of the men are on stand down. Every 10 paces on the walls, there's a sentry looking out.
I'm surprised they still have a standing unit at the docks.
Car pulls in, and Relish brings it immediately right out, parks it so that, when you open the door, it's 5 feet to the colonel's office. He knows how you don't like the sun.
Uh, do you suppose I do have to report in? I wish the American had been more cooperative. Could have gotten a ride on the car. Oh well. Into the office we go.
Okay. So, so you get out, you go into the office there, and you come in to the office of your actual Colonel, Colonel Humphrey Bassington there, and
Colonel?
you just see him go a wee bit white, and he goes, "I must admit, Captain, when I heard the news from the lieutenant, I thought he had suffered from heat stroke."
Unfortunately, that is not true.
He's holding a piece of paper and he holds it out to you and goes, "Do you care to explain about the massacre you led your troops on?"
Lies, sir.
Well, according to this, you took your soldiers into the city plaza and shot at the evening crowd. The people rioted and drove your forces back to the compound at Karnak, where where you were killed, all of you. This report is coming from an Egyptian army captain in this unit that was responding to the smoke that they were seeing rising from the city. It took them 3 days to get to Luxor. This is their report. This is making the rounds throughout the city.
Then perhaps it is wisest to curtail the spread of misinformation. However, I do realize it is quite late for that, and I must admit I did lose the command underneath me to the
Yes.
last man, with the exception of my personal battler. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do. The locals were. Part of it is true. The locals did chase us into the compound, though none of our troops were outside of it at the instigating moment. And I will assure you, none of my men were the ones to take the first shot. However, they were overpowered while I was personally unavailable to lead them, as I was attempting a rescue operation of some men stuck at the compound in Luxor. At the Temple of Karnak. By the time we made it out of there, all had been slain, and nothing was left behind but carcasses of our dead. The sheer fact that we managed to get out of there is due to the presence of an American expedition that happened to have a generous supply of dynamite at hand, which we were able to use against the masses to get out of there.
You used dynamite on the people.
Well, to be quite frank,
Your orders were to keep the peace, Captain.
one cannot keep what does not exist. So,
Get out of my office. I will speak to you later.
yes, sir. Turns around, walks out.
And you just hear the quick, just as you're turning around, he goes, "Relish, get in here." Your Batman just gives you a brief look, but then marches in as the door closes behind you.
Well, since my man is in there, it's hardly appropriate for me to go anywhere. Better hit the bar
Yeah.
and
So,
wait for Dragon to arrive.
so what are you going to be buying when you're at the bar?
I do hope they have a serving of brandy available.
Oh, they've got a brandy. Where it's good
I
brandy.
mean the officer bar right next to the colonel's
Oh
office.
yeah.
For the waiting room for the officers.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to see what the quality of the brandy is like for you.
Quality of the brandy, eh?
Yeah. They have brandy. It's just a question of, is it good brandy?
Yes. Is it brandy or is it wine that you do?
Okay. Okay, you're just going to do a roll on your wealth. Okay?
On my wealth, eh?
Yeah. So, in your mantle, you're currently
I do believe my wealth is currently at stage 3.
3. Yeah. So, it's just a +3. Okay? And just do a roll on it.
That was 4d plus 3.
Yeah.
Is a level 0 brandy, so quite not to my
Yeah. So the barman is just looking at you. He goes, "Here you are, sir," and you can see he's, kind of shifting his eye and looking around just to make sure that he's nervous. He doesn't want to be seen serving you. There.
That's not my business.
Mhm. As you're drinking that, or
Not for long, not this quality.
yeah,
It's like,
Relish comes into the bar and just sits down.
well, Alish, how are the prospects?
I've just been dishonorably discharged.
Well, you really must hate me then. Oh, have any plans?
No, sir.
Well, I do believe I require valet then.
You might not be needing my services for long because there's talk of a military tribunal.
Against the peer. I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, but the Egyptians are pissed, and I don't know. The colonel is pissed. He at least has to be seen potentially making the move.
Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah, of course.
Worcester stands up and walks straight to the colonel's office. Doesn't even knock. Just opens the door and marches straight up to the desk of the colonel.
Redwood, I told you.
Consider this my resignation, sir. I will not serve without a batsman, and since you have discharged my batsman, a man underneath my command, I consider this a personal insult. and therefore I will no longer be serving underneath you. Good day.
In that case, Captain, you can vacate the barracks and get yourself out of the city.
With pleasure.
There's a
And he
ship.
turns and
There,
walks away.
there's a ship waiting at the port of Alexandria. I expect you to be on that ship when it leaves tomorrow. If I hear you stay in Egypt, I will make sure you are arrested. Is that understood?
Perfectly clear. Colonel?
Get out of my sight.
As you wish. But you have been served your scapegoat. Use it well. And he turns. He proceeds to walk away to Relish. Well, Relish, coming?
Nothing more for me to do here.
Well, I did mention I require valet.
Mm.
Would you be interested in applying for the position?
Nothing else to do, and
Consider it yours. Not like I have the time at this moment to get another one. And walking out into the open air with the... Well, actually, the luggage is gone. Probably left back at Luxor somewhere. Only with my pocket cash available and a family line of credit.
it's as you're marching to the gates of the barracks, you find the sergeant major marching in with a guest at his side.
Well, Sergeant Major, thank you for your service. You are now dismissed.
Yes, Captain. Snaps a salute and then just turns off and goes off to whatever other duties require of him.
Mr. Wren, I apologize for the harsh behavior. I wanted you here for a reason, and I was not in a position to explain myself in front of my underlings. I hope you can forgive me this indiscretion.
You could have told me on the boat. I would have gone with you if you just explained what was going on the boat. Would have been a whole lot easier.
Well, unfortunately, my foresight is not one of my primary skills.
Here,
I do what I can.
Tuned on the side attest to that part, but that's all right. I mean, I get it.
just as you're saying about your foresight, you just hear a quick snort from behind you from your current valet. Oh, sorry, sir. This sand's getting into my throat there. Nasty stuff.
Well, we'll better get you to somewhere with more shade in it.
Yes, I perfectly agree with that, sir.
So, Captain, what are now that you've essentially taken me prisoner? Where are we headed? And by that, I mean like in the.
You're free to go. I was hoping to use you as a witness to the events at Karnak. Unfortunately, no one is interested in listening. Instead, I will proceed to offer you my help.
I'm listening.
You seem to be somewhat antagonistic towards these people that destroyed the people under my command. I do not consider myself a petty man, but there is a certain inkling of revenge that I wish to pursue upon.
Well, I have my own superiors that I need to talk to before I can get up with anybody. As I told you, I work for the Vatican, and I need to go I need to go get my marching orders as well. I can certainly use your resources, but I don't know that I can do it at this time. But tell you what, let's go grab a drink. And I heard the sergeant major was telling me that the drinks here are pretty good, so I figured we'd give it a try. And we can exchange telegram numbers because I need to ship out to Italy fairly soon.
Well, if you need to ship out to Italy pretty soon, I know a certain ship that we can take. Hopefully, it isn't harbor at Alexandria, close enough. But the train should be leaving in the afternoon if we can make it. If you have any business to attend to, I suggest we meet at the railway station around noon. Not noon, the exact opposite of noon, but
You
not
want?
midnight. The twilight,
Sure. I've
Sunset,
never.
you mean?
sunset. Yeah. Sorry, my translation not working.
Uh,
Very
sounds
few
sounds all
trains leave
right
at
by
midnight.
me. Uh, Now I can't guarantee I'll be there. Again, I'm going to check the closest boat to Italy. But if it happens to be through Alexandria, then I will see you there. In the
You
meantime, it's been
decided to go to Alexandria, not to Italy. Sticking with me is probably your best option. My family does own a quite large shipping business, and we can pretty much order a ship to go where you needed to go.
is it going to be out of Alexandria?
That is the main shipping harbor in this area.
I
Uh,
know
uh,
that. Well, fine. I will. I've got some affairs that I need to take care of, but I will. I will catch you at how do you guys say past tea time, and which I assume is sunset because that's the only time you guys stop drinking tea.
yeah.
So
You do need to get hold of me. I do have a friend who has a small adobe near the railway station. His name is Parkinson. You will be able to find him by asking the locals. There's not many of his family in this part of the world.
all right, sounds like a plan. I'll see you later.
Well,
Uh,
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys separate then. Right. We're going over to Evan. So what is Penn doing?
Ren is.
Oh yeah, it's Ren, not Penn. Why do I keep saying Penn?
I don't know.
Mm,
But Ren is looking for his Vatican and Knight of the and or Knight of the Cross contact because Cairo is a very big city,
mm,
and there's going to be one or a couple of us stationed
yeah.
in Cairo, and yes, he'll get to the Vatican, but he knows very easily that orders can get passed very, very quickly
Yeah.
all around the globe with the network. So he's going to be going to the local churches and kind of not really flashing, but just kind of showing like holding his hand by the Bible, showing his signet ring, just to see if anybody comments.
Mm-hmm. What? I'll have you do uh, a focus roll on you paying attention, seeing who's paying attention to you and all that sort of stuff. Okay.
4.
4. Okay. And you just go in. The first place, the first church you go into is a bust. Okay. It's because the first one you literally just came across is the actual church for the barracks. Okay. That's just off to the side. That's not actually officially attached to the barracks, but it serves the barracks troops. And they look at you, and no one flashes recognition. You go.
Does the Papal State have an embassy?
it's not as such. What happens is you go down the street, okay, and what you find is you just see out of the corner of your eye um, a very plain building with a symbol of an ankh, okay,
Okay.
which is quite commonly used by sometimes the Coptic Church there.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean they're not they're only tangentially related to us, but I
Mhm.
guess that's the best I've got.
Mhm.
So
And what happens is you just get a vague remembrance of someone that, one time mentioning that if you're alone in Egypt, it's always good to have a friend with the Coptics. Was was what they said.
I want to go around the corner,
Mhm.
and I'm going to um, uh, go from concealed to unconcealed sword,
All right.
and then I'll knock on the door. It'll be what is it? It'll be 3 and 1.
All right. You hear a slow, like a hastened shuffling behind the door, and it slowly opens, and it's a wise and gentleman. He goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
I I am. Mhm. Uh, I I say, hold on. Uh, Here. Uh, I wish to seek more light. Can you help me? Or sorry, I wish to seek further light.
Father Lights. It's been a long time since I've heard that phrase. But redemption is there for the true seeker. Come in.
As I come in kind of angled, both to not really hide, just kind of because my I kind of angle towards the door.
Mhm.
If I was facing, I'm kind of facing on the left. Not really to hide, but just because I don't really want my wound to show too much. Like,
Mhm.
hey, what happened? And because my sword is on my right side,
Yeah.
so he'll see that first as I'm going in the doorway.
The gentleman's eyes just light catch the hilt of the sword, and it's not the hilt he's looking at. He's looking at the nail on it, and he goes, "Do you mind if I see the holy weapon?"
I take out the sword and I hold it up, and then I tilt it to the nails on this side, and I present it to him.
He just looks at it and goes, "I've heard of this weapon, one of three. I thought I would never see of this ever in my life. What can I do for you, knight?"
What is your name, good sir?
"My name is Thomas."
Thomas, uh, I am Sean Wren. It's a pleasure to meet you. As you can tell by my accent and my demeanor, I'm a very long way from home, and uh, I would like to know if you've had any contact with the Vatican and our other brothers recently. I know you said it's been a long time since you've heard the phrase, but perhaps you've heard any inklings of the mysterious that I can assist with.
It's a very long time since a knight has been here, but there has been talks about something that happened at Luxor.
I was there.
What? Um, I I might be able to get you in contact with your brethren. My father and his father before him, we always maintained contact with the with an order of gentlemen that if we needed help, we could call upon them.
That
And
your hospitality is most appreciated.
and and such. And when we've put in requests, a gentleman like yourself would come. We've never, I've never had need to make the call, and you're quite fortuitous because I have no children anymore, and I'm the last of my order in this city. I I have a telephone in the back for you that you can use if you know the number.
Thank you. Uh, may I ask you a question?
Yes,
Is there anyone that you wished could have taken up your mantle?
I had a son once. He died quite early, but he had a son of his own. But my beloved grandson, he went to the war. He he was a medic.
What of your daughters?
My my it was only my daughter-in-law was the last one. She committed suicide.
I will make this call. While I do, uh, I would ask of you one thing. Go into the town and find that whom you trust the most and return with them. And as I say that, I go into the back room to call in to the archbishop.
Okay. So it rings about 3 times before you hear a voice. Go. Okay. Okay. Is everything all right?
Uh, it is well. I have returned from Luxor and would like to arrange a meeting to discuss um, the uh, awakenings that have arisen. It is we will need more nights soon.
I can't. Unfortunately, Sean, the other nights are stretched. I mean, I cannot summon them any quicker than I can.
What would you have me do here in the Middle East. I've found uh, a what I feel are two compatriots that may assist me, as well as a gentleman who is willing to take us where we need to go. And it seems they're traveling to Alexandria. Um, do you have any orders for me? There is now a portal that I found, and I have not seen this before. Um, I don't know where this man has gone, but I am gravely concerned, and I am at your will.
Have you? How much do you know of the White Council of Wizards?
Very little. All I know is that they possess a magic that is far different from our divine blessings. I have never encountered them uh, in a negative manner. They seem not to be against the world, although they do not confess our faith.
Hmm. Some do confess their faith. There's a brother in the city of Jerusalem. He might have the answers you seek.
What is his name?
He goes by the name of Ezekiel.
Yeah, Francis. There are many Ezekiels in Jerusalem. Might one be more specific?
Yeah. Well, he will stand out. He leads the church there. The old army. Just give me a second. My memory's completely went blank at the place I was sitting.
The Armenian Church.
Yeah, it is. That is it. Because if you ever looked at the city of the map of Jerusalem, the old quarter,
Yeah.
there's the old Armenian church, and that's like a stronghold inside a walled city in itself. That's
Okay.
what it is. It's the Armenian Church of Christians, right? He goes. He 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 leads the church. He leads the church in the Armenian quarter in the Armenian citadel. You'll find him there. He is also a member of the White Council.
I I will um, I will I will head there shortly. Um, I will I'll quickly tell you of what happened at Luxor. Will you send the message to our Pope so that I can be off to Jerusalem?
Don't worry you about where you're going. If you need to go anywhere, I will cover for you.
Understood. May faith be with you.
And may God be with you.
And I hang up the phone with a new game plan.
As you're coming back, you you
Into the
find
living room.
into the room. Yeah,
Yep.
you find Thomas there, but he's with a gentleman there that you wouldn't expect because around his because around his neck and from his attire, he's not Christian. He is a Muslim, and he goes,
Nice try, Wooster.
"If you want to do an Egyptian accent, Worcester, feel free."
No, he has had enough accent. Okay, so I look at both of them, and um, uh, I just kind of look at them first to see if they're going to say anything.
I know this might be weird, but Muhammad here is my closest friend. He has done everything to help protect our community. He is
Uh,
a man of God. If there's anyone that could truly help you in the city, it is him. And
I look to see if Thomas says anything.
well, that
Or
was
sorry, not Thomas, Muhammad.
Muhammad, yeah. And Muhammad just walks out, takes a short bow, and goes, "Blessings upon you."
Shalom alaikum, Muhammad. Uh, Thomas speaks very highly of you, as you can tell. Um, if I may ask, how old are you?
I will be 44 this year.
I have a very important question to ask you. We have never met. I know you not, and you as well. Um, but I have two questions that may answer, and they may in fact change your life. And it is not melodramatic. It is in fact very true. Um, the first question: will you trust me, this man that you have never met?
If Thomas asks me to trust you, I will.
The second question: we are from different faiths. You can see that I am a Christian man, as is Thomas. And I see by your attire and demeanor that you are Muslim. However, we are both of the Abrahamic faiths,
We're
if
all God's children.
as we are. If I were to grant you power or knowledge, would you use that to protect, or would you use that for other purposes? What would you use that power for?
I am a simple man. I am not Allah, gifted with the sight to know my future. All I can say is my intentions is to do good and to do no harm unto anyone else.
Um, I would task you with something if you will permit me, Muhammad.
What would you want me to do?
Thomas is of an ancient line that has helped preserve the Christian faith for centuries, of which uh, I am one of its highest protectors. Whereas you may believe him just to be a prophet, um, the Christian Savior, I have one of the nails that crucified him, and I give the symbol, and I put it in front of him, and I say, Thomas is the last of his line, and there is no one else in Egypt that can help preserve the Abrahamic religion in the divine way that we can. We both serve God, and I would like you to take up the mantle as the next champion of Egypt.
I sometimes think your Christians forget that we are already of the faith. We are all Muslim. We're all servants of God. You just do it under a different title to myself.
I would at this point, because I'm kind of waiting for the right point in the conversation.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you want to play this, so
It's up to you. I'm improving here.
Well, I get that. I want to use one and or two fate points. I only have two. I only ever have two.
Mhm.
Um, but we talked before the stream about like blessings and wardings and things like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I would like to bestow on Muhammad
Okay.
um, the blessing, essentially, of um, him having the ability of right place, right time.
Ooh.
And I and to do this, um, I would uh, I would say, Muhammad, if you trust me, will you kneel down in the position of prayer?
He just he for a second looks at you, and then he just turns to look at Thomas, and he just goes, "You're correct. I do not know you, but I know Thomas, and if he says I can trust you, I'll place my faith in your hands." And he's slowly but gracefully goes down into supplication
Yep.
in the
Uh,
Muslim fashion,
yep.
head down to the floor.
Yep. Uh, what I will do is, typically, for you Euros know this far better than I do, but a knighting ceremony would be
Mhm.
the two shoulders and the head with the hilt of
Mhm.
the sword. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sword that I have presented, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it over to where the nail on the hilt,
Yeah.
or the crossguard, excuse me,
Yep.
is protruding,
Mhm.
and I place the nail on his two shoulders,
Mhm.
and then on the top of his head where he's placed his head, and I say, Muhammad, as you uh, uh, continue the faith and preserve the uh, the Muslim word of our God, um, I grant you a special blessing. Whenever you may need, Allah will put you to where you are needed most. There will never be a time when you are under the voice of Allah that you will be lost. I ask only that you continue our line, and that when your family continues, that you present them with the same gift by placing them in this position of prayer and touching them in the 3 points that I have touched you. And your family, for all of their generations, as Thomas has done before you, will never be lost and will always find a righteous way to be in the right place whenever you may need it.
And what happens is you're saying this, you're feeling a slight, best way to describe it is kind of like an electric touch as you're gently, you know, touching them. And as he unbows his head, you see a slight, ever so gentle shimmer in the eye. There he goes. That is a vow I can keep with an open heart.
I say, please arise, Sir Muhammad.
So he arises, and
As a I thank them both for their time, and I want to see if there's anything more, but I'm ready to head to the shipping docks
Yeah. It's
after food and whatnot.
yeah. You. It's as you're saying that you are getting a sense that a vague sense that you are needing somewhere else, and that the draw is towards, as you're saying, the dock. Towards the docks and heading towards the docks, or the train station at least, which would take you to.
Whichever one the Wooster said.
Yeah, it'll be the train station for you to then get to Alexandria Docks, as you say. I'm jumping there really far ahead. Okay, back to the ex-captain, very fashionably unemployed Lord Worcester Redwood. So
A lord is never unemployed. One always has his.
a gap year, yes, I know.
Very well. Please proceed.
Yes. So you're just waiting at the train station there, and Relish comes up to you and says, "Sir,
I would like to point out before you say anything.
yes,
Upon visiting his acquaintance, he has borrowed some civilian outfit.
oh, of course,
Army khaki, as it said.
Mhm.
If you want, I can invoke the friendly
oh yeah. So hold on. Do you want to do a scene with Parkinson first? In that case,
If you demand a scene, I
No.
was going to
If
hand you over this has a friend, get some clothes, goes to the railway station.
no, it's up to you. Do you want to do a scene with Parkinson, or do you see yourself already getting yourself the clothes and?
I mean, it would be more less jarring to the audience if we get back to the characters finding instead of just talking to friend number 72.
Yeah. Okay.
Your event was cool, but mine would just be, hey, I need some clothes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long time no see.
Real quick, I want to do this because I've yet to be able to do this in the campaign, and I think I figured out how to do this. I'm not going to be in the scene. I don't want to be in the scene because I've just had a huge scene.
Yeah.
However, I now want to invoke right place, right time. That at some point, I show up like near Wooster.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything. I just want to actually be able to use my stunt.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So it's the actual. So Relish is just sitting down, and he goes. And he's just holding a glass bottle, and he goes, "I do apologise, sir, but that is the only liquid refreshment in the establishment here."
A short glance at the bottle itself.
It's a Coca-Cola.
Please enjoy yourself. I will wait for the train to arrive.
I was making inquiries ahead, sir. Did you know what ship was actually at the port?
No, not a fan society. I will find out when we get there.
I think you're going to recognise the ship, sir.
Am I?
It's the Oceanic. No, it's not the Ocean. It's sorry. Get my names mixed up. The Olympic. Sorry, why am I coming up with Oceanic? Sorry.
The sister ship of the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. The Olympic. Which, you know how you were saying your family owns a shipping line?
Yes.
Think what shipping line your family owns.
I do believe it is written down in the notes.
White. I'm making it White Star.
Okay.
I'm upgrading you, mate.
And that's not considered an upgrade.
Hey, the Olympic did not sink.
Uh,
Yet. And she's called the old reliable for good reason. She is one of the finest cruise liners ever built for her
yes.
time.
Well,
Only the best for you, Worcester.
Elizabeth, for me. Is this a revenge for Cellini?
No, no.
Very well then.
Uh, but it's like, yeah, but sir, the Olympic does the Southampton to New York shuttle. What's it doing all the way out here in Egypt?
That is an excellent question. Perhaps we should investigate from the captain.
Hmm.
Oh. Father-in-law has some explaining to do.
It's just as you're saying that, in walks a certain American gentleman that you're aware of.
Sir Ren.
Muted. Captain, nice to see you. Don't know how we found each other in the big city, but hey, works for me. Makes my job easier.
Well, we did agree to meet on the railway station. That should be the giveaway.
Are we not nowhere close to the railway? I don't know my way around the city.
Behind those people are the tracks. The train itself is still missing.
Oh, well, that was convenient, wasn't it? Okay. Well, if you're getting a drink, I'll just grab a. Well, what do we have around here? Let's see here.
Cola.
You got any root beer?
The barman goes, sorry, sir, no root beer. We have cola.
Perfect. I'll take that.
And
I heard the and I turned to Worcester and I say, yeah, back home we don't have the cane sugar they have here. I heard the colas are quite good.
I will take your word upon it.
Almost as good as the brandy from what I was hearing earlier.
Right.
it's
Well, I can't say if the brandy I had was local or imported. Either way, it was not worth the money put into it.
Maybe an English brand.
it's just as you're saying that you hear the whistle of a train in the distance. That's so surely but surely getting closer to the station.
I took the liberty of reserving us the first class seating.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it. You said your family had a boat that could take us where we wanted to go, right?
Yes, the Olympic is waiting at Alexandria.
Isn't that the kind of the? Wait
Yeah.
a minute, that's the ship that's like the Titanic, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's the sister ship.
Yes, but unlike the Titanic, this one was actually able to sail over the Atlantic and back again.
Mind if I take a life jacket just in case?
Oh, yeah, they've made improvements.
Also, unlike the Titanic, it is equipped with enough boats for all the passengers.
The last time somebody said that on my expedition, I ended up almost having to ride an alligator. So sorry if I'm a little skeptical, but all right. Hey, how do you feel about Jerusalem?
I can't say I've ever been there, not since ever, but only thing I've heard about it was from Lawrence of Arabia. If you know the man.
No, don't know much about him. I don't know a Larry. No, don't know him. Um, I heard you like adventure, and uh, I might be able to use some help. I think I'm going to take a trip to the Holy Land while I'm down in the Middle East. You want to come along?
Well, I take it has something to do with the fact at hand, so I just might as well go.
And
I'll have a short stint in Alexandria first. I'll need to figure out Olympi- what the Olympic is doing there in the first place. Well, after that, I do believe taking the train up to the Judea would be the fastest route. Going
is
up the Suez Canal is quite much easier on a boat, on a railway than a boat.
is it just myself and Relish and Wooster and the barkeep at this point?
Oh, the barkeep's on the other end of, at the other end of the bar. He's just washing rags, not really paying attention there.
Um,
Everyone else that was in this room is literally mate is headed off to the platform there.
uh, I say, sir, and I call out to him. I say, I'm missing home a little bit. Do you happen to have any a Scott Joplin um, vinyls in the back?
He the barkeep just looks up and goes. He just shakes his head and he goes, "I do apologize." There.
Uh, no, that's all right. Um, that's all right. Uh, do we have any more types of Coke there in the back? I think I've downed mine.
Oh, we do have we do have that there. How many do you want?
Uh,
Case. It's a long voyage to Alexandria.
yeah, let's do a couple cases. Sure. I kind of look at Wooster like, huh? He can afford his own case. All right, well, I might as well use it. So, make that 4 or 5. It's a long trip.
So you just see the guy going, as long as you've got the money, you're going to clear me out.
That. And I kind of look at him, but I speak anyway. I'm like, that's probably fine. Can you just go and look for him for a few minutes?
Yeah. Just give me a moment. And he runs off into the back. There.
Thank
And
you. I did not want any, but I noticed that you desired his absence.
Hmm.
uh, for the record, I really enjoy Cola, so we'll see how sick I get of it. But and I look over it at the two, and I said, well, it's about time that we had a talk then, I suppose. Because if we're actually going to be working as a team, then I'm going to need to actually have some allies. And I pull out the sword and I put it on the table, and I say, you've seen the sword. I got a pretty nice sword, but do you understand why it's so nice?
I would assume it has something to do with the mystical powers you were wielding during the battle.
They come from said sword, and although I don't mind if you touch it, I would appreciate if you just if you didn't run off with it. And I tilt it over by the cross guard, and I show both of them the nail, and I say, now I know you're not the most religious man, but I am I am quite certain with a very large amount of certainty that this is the one of the 3 nails of Jesus, and because it's on my sword, that's what allows me to do the wondrous tornado-like things that you have seen my amazing skill at.
So, as a servant of faith, you use as a weapon the implement used to torture your savior.
I didn't say it was a perfect system. I just said it was a holy relic.
Well, it is curious. Mind if I assess balance? Seems like a decent source.
Yeah, I just asked that. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep that with me, but I wanted to let you know what was going on. I don't like to tell about my past and what's going on to others. I will say I wasn't completely 100% honest with you originally. I do work for the Vatican, but I'm more of how you say secret soldier of types. Not so much of an archaeologist.
Yes, I assumed as much considering you are carrying weaponry instead of tools.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still do know about ancient Egypt. Just I'm better with the sword than with hieroglyphic. Um, and the so I am. This may come up later, so I want you to know now that I'm what you call a knight of the cross, and there's only three of us, and so I'm very protective of the order. But that's what I was trying to do earlier was find my contacts, and whereas I do appreciate your company and certainly your resources, they are my first allegiance, but I think that you have probably been the first person that I have told that I'm part of this order since I was 10 or 11. It's been a very long time, and even then was by accident. So, but I think that you may be part of the master plan. So I wanted to show you, and relish you happen to get lucky on this one, that's why we're going to Jerusalem.
Well, I shall organize the voyage. I assume you have. I have the few business in Alexandria. I will continue from there, either by boat or by rail, whichever is available quicker. And I thank you for this information. I would like to say I have secrets in my life that I would share with you, but the only thing of late is my immediate resignation from my post as a captain of the British Army.
Oh,
I
that's a
no longer
huge
in
relief.
active service.
Because I mean, I'll follow your lead when it comes to combat, but man, the whole military, whole British military thing was getting real old. So hey, I mean that kind of works out for us. So sucks for the whole you lost your job thing, but hey, we got a new mission. So
Jobs come and go.
what exactly does that make you relish? Because weren't you employed with the military too? At least he's rich. Like, what's your thing?
Currently unemployed with a, a proposal of employment from my lord here.
Have you not accepted yet?
I think I may, sir.
Well,
if it makes it any easier, I can make you butler instead.
That would be greatly appreciated, sir. It's slightly bit more money than valet, definitely.
well, I can certainly use somebody who can help me with the more talking points of the communities. That's part of why I told you in the first place was because I don't know how longer I could have kept up that deception. Most of the time, I just hang out on my own. I'm not very good at talk with people. But if you can talk with the crowds and get what we need, then yeah, we could certainly use you.
Yes. And like Relish is just looking. I think so it looks like the train is about to arrive, sir, and it's just as he's saying that the barkeeper's just coming in and he's just panting and he's just like bringing stack and stack and stack of crates, 5 crates of 24 bottles each.
No, I think we'll only take the one crate after all. Thank you, barkeep.
We just like bolt out.
Relish grabs you put the money down on the table and the barkeeper's just staring daggers at your back as you're doing that.
And here's some extra for your fields.
And as you're doing that, this is probably when we'll go into the break. There.
Excellent timing. Time for me to get some cola.
Yep.
I mean tea.
That's
Yeah.
ironic.
We are back.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Now we can go back to conquering the world.
We're not playing Risk here.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Yeah,
not thinking in the brain either.
Yeah, sorry, this is our next stream that we're playing. Sorry.
That's the next game. Never mind.
Okay. So your gentlemen embark onto the train and takes the time it takes to get to Alexandria. You arrive in the city and you find yourselves on the actual docks there, and basically the docks are, there's only one kind of sight that's attracting the eye of everyone, and that is the RMS Olympic. We are talking about, for its time, one of the greatest cruise liners. It's just, and it has drawn a crowd of people, and you hear mutterings there. A lot of it in Arabic and Egyptian, but there's enough English phrases where you're hearing people going, "Why the hell is the Olympic here?" Shouldn't, and it is just people are just surprised to see such a ship at this port. You gentlemen move, or slowly but surely you're able to move through the crowd, and you're heading for a certain gangplank, which is reserved for the actual first class passengers. And it's as you're approaching a young steward of the ship catches your eyes and goes, "Ah, my lord." Right.
Please arrange for the captain to receive us at the first convenience.
Yes, sir, but surely you'll be wanting to speak to your stepfather also.
He's on board. I'll have them both in the same room then.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what are you standing there for?
Oh, sorry, my lord. And the guy scurries off. As you see him scurry off, and he will actually quickly, just briefly stop at the top of the gangplank. You see him talking to one of the officers, and the officer looks down, recognition of who you are, and he's like, gesturing, and you're seeing the hands coming down the gangplank, and they're going, and one of them's just going, Fraser, sorry, my lord, do you have any bags you want us to take in onto the ship for you?
None. At this point. Oh, actually, the case.
Of course. And they just hurry off and grab the cases there, and they hurry up.
Oh, at this point, he turns to the Australians like, this would be your duty as the butler to arrange for these minutiae. Nodding.
Of course, my lord, I will seek to ensure that this never happens again. There.
Good. No worries. This is still your first week in office, and you have not have anyone taught you how a proper butler behaves. But we'll get that sorted out. Don't worry about it.
Of course, my lord. I think maybe it's best if I go with the hands and see to the room that they will be preparing yourself.
Do. Good initiative. Carry on.
And he just nods, and he just quickly departs up the gangplank.
I wanna just kind of slide up next to him as he's going and say, "Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do that." Like for me at least, and just kind of as he's heading off. The whole time I'm just kind of like in the back, just kind of eyeing Booster, like, huh? So this is how the rich live. Okay. Wow, interesting.
Well, anyway, he continues up the gangplank
Yeah.
uh, to to the through the help
Mhm,
and towards the officer.
mhm. Yeah, so the officer snaps off a salute to you. Ah, my lord, welcome aboard the Olympic.
Yes, thank you. Care to explain me why you are here?
Your stepfather ordered the redirection of the ship.
Curious. Well, I do assume you are arranging for a sit down with him.
Um, yeah, he told us to to keep an eye out for you. He believed that you probably be seeking passage aboard the ship.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Have it redirected from Southampton to here. Must have taken you 2, 3 weeks.
he told us to actually burn the boilers. We came at full speed there.
A week? My God. The
Uh,
rest of my
we're talking about, after the whatever trip he has us do, we're gonna have to put back into the yard. He's
lead me to the captain's salon.
Yes, sir. This way, sir. And you slowly meander through the ship, and of course, he takes you through that grand staircase that you see on this class of ship, which dominates the top half there, and takes you up. And so it's the captain salon, sir. Captain Wright will be with you shortly. I'll make him aware that you're here, sir.
Thank you. And do let my stepfather know that I expect his presence at the earliest inconvenience.
Of of course, sir. Mm. Yes, yeah. I didn't realize it had that aspect itself. It does. Right place, right time.
Uh, at some point, I would just head to whatever room people are setting up, and I just want to like meditate and read scripture and things like that.
Mm. So, okay.
So not out of the picture, just
Mm.
uh, I'm just kind of dwelling on
He's blending with the
like
background.
Mm. I've just got this image. You've just kind of put yourself, you kind of follow them, and you went, and you just, as you're like kind of going up that grand staircase,
I
it's
just
just
skip
that,
over to the side.
that just like the entire hustle and bustle of people going up and down into that. Is you just end up going, you know what? I wouldn't mind kind of doing a wee bit of people watching. You just put your back up against one of the columns and just pull a book out from your jacket and just start reading. What every so often, just having a look down.
Well, at some point, I'll go back to the room because he is not a guy that enjoys watching people.
Mm,
He's a very secretive guy. He doesn't understand people very well.
mm,
So he might be looking a little bit just to see if there's anything suspicious.
mm,
But once he's like, okay, no, this is just a rich ship and that's it. He's heading to the room and he's like, hey, bye. And I don't even think like Wooster registers that when he says bye, he's just like okay, and so he just heads to where he saw the various room setters were going.
okay. So okay. So Worcester, you're just sitting down. They've brought a brandy out to you of a suitable vintage for once. And it's just as you're starting to take maybe your first or second sip of it, a gentleman walks in, tall, in a dark blue uniform with a captain's cap.
Ah, Captain Hyde.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I would like to know why you are in this port. I was under the assumption you were supposed to be setting sail towards New York.
That was the plan. You can ask your stepfather about it, my lord, because we were on our way. He, for once, he was on the ship with us there, and it's just as we're, pulling into, about to, leaving the channel and about to get into the Atlantic. He calls me out in the blue one night and tells me to change course and set course for the port of Alexandria, full speed.
It's most unusual. He is on board, I hear.
Yes, he is. I'll make him. He's said to be aware for your potential arrival.
Very well then. Please take a seat.
Of course. I
You
mean,
don't have nothing to worry about.
it's not me. It's like if the owner of the company decides to hijack one of the ships, there's nothing that I can do. There, it's just the reputation damage to the company, sir.
Well, that would be mine and my stepfather's headache, not yours.
Well,
Sure.
I'm happy to agree with that, sir. Can I have that in writing so I can hand that over to some of the passengers? There's one or two lords and ladies that are not happy with me.
I'll deal with them when I meet them. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, my lord.
So where the hell is Geoffrey? Oh, pardon my French.
And it's just you're waiting a while. You're waiting some more. And then there's a knock on the door. That same that same steward that first saw you and first introduced himself comes in. Uh, my lord, Captain, right. I've had a look around. I can't find him, sir.
What? You looked into his quarters, I assume?
That was the first place we looked at, sir. I mean,
And he has not disembarked yet?
no, his Mr. Sunham's property are still in this room. Nothing's been touched.
Well then, Captain, see to your duties. It appears there's a manhunt to be done. As the commanding officer of the ship, I expect you to organize the crew to find Mr. Sundham at once.
Of course, my lord. Feel free to partake of your leisure here while I organise the search with the crew.
Thank you. Carry on. And
And the Captain Wright, he hurries the steward out of the room with him.
well now, time to go to the executive suite, which is usually reserved for the company personnel, which I assume for our dear stepfather has taken his use. I do know the ship rather well, having sailed a few times on it.
So, you move through the ship, and it's like occasionally you come across a member of the crew, you see them s- snapping to attention and saluting you as you're marching past, and then they're quickly getting on with their business. There, it's when you come to the door of the executive suite. There, you've got a key. You've got one of the master keys there to hand. So taking that and unlocking the door, and you find, it's a very well laid out suite. It's a very big suite. We're talking about a full king size bed in here with its own wee balcony overlooking on the side.
Everything seems to be in order.
You're looking around. The only thing you're you're seeing is when you're looking around. It's like, as I said, there's cases there and so forth. Okay, and when you pull open the wardrobes, there's still the clothes. But it's what you notice is there's just a slight tilt on a certain picture frame.
Hmm.
And as you're taking it down, this is where what this is what was used to disguise the wall-mounted safe for this room. There, and you notice it's actually slightly ajar there.
Hmm.
So the way it's set up is it's in its own kind of like alcove. So it's slightly ajar, but and that's what was like knocking the painting off a wee bit there.
Oh, I just suppose I'll open up the safe to see if it's been ransacked.
And it's when you're looking in there, it's perfect. There's like what you're seeing there is actually looks like it's not. There is a few ledgers there, but with the way you're looking, the way it's been lined with the black felt, you see there's a kind of clear outline of dust that would indicate a rectangular object
That is missing.
is missing. Yeah, about say about that long and that wide has been taken.
So, small sword-ish size,
Mm,
or like a bottle,
no, really, I wouldn't say. Well, when
like a
I'm
bottle case, like. So.
uh, I would say probably if we're going with like length, it'll probably be more like that length, okay, and probably yeah, more like that in width. You're seeing,
So,
so it's a very
elongated square.
very nice rectangular.
Oh. I do suppose I know someone who does investigation for a living.
Mm.
So I close the well, just leave it there and go back to the door.
Mhm.
Look for the nearest and dearest uh, manservant or steward or whatever comes forth and find Mr. Wren. He should be the only American that looks like a commoner on the first class.
Uh, yes, my lord.
Ask him to join me here.
Of course. And the guy just scurries off in the appropriate manner that you're used to there. And it's just while you, what happens is where. Actually, here's a question: where would Ren be found at this moment?
Wherever the um, whatever room was set up for him and Wooster, or whatever room had been assigned to him, I assume he would just be on the bed reading scripture.
All right. So what you find is you've been you eventually you made your introduction to one of the stewards and you advised who you are, and he's led you to a room that's basically off to the side of Lord Redwood's rooms, right?
Makes sense.
And you're just like you're lying back and you've just got your scriptures in hand there, and it's before you even know it, you hear a rattling at the door, slight rattling at the door as the door then opens, and you have a kind of Harry Stewart saying, uh, "Excuse me, sir. Are you Mister? Are you Mister Wren?"
And I say, let me guess. Did pseudo Captain Redwood ask for an American?
The Lord did ask for an American under the name of Wren. He said we find some that looked a bit common in first class.
Uh, Actually, there's two Americans. You're looking for Ren. He's two doors down. I'm James. I know, common confusion, especially when there's only two Americans on board. I can go see what he wants, but I'm not the guy you're looking for.
Uh, okay, sir. I think you're in the wrong room because this is the room that's assigned to Mister Wren.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll head down the hall, and then when we figure it all out, maybe I'll be at the bar or something. Uh, but uh, but yeah, the guy you're looking for is I think two doors down. We were playing chess a little while ago.
Thank you, sir.
Also, that steward is so fired. He went ahead and relayed a description in the most uncouth manner. Uncouth, how do you pronounce the word?
Uncouth.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just go back to reading scripture, and I just see how long it takes till somebody finds me again.
You
Because I wasn't done, and so I was like, nah, I'll just mess with them, see what happens.
you just hear, just from a couple of doors down, knock, knock, knock. Mister Wren, are you in there, sir? Mister Wren. You hear sounds like a wee bit of rattling as he's pulling out his own set of like master keys to open up the door. Oh, where the hell is this bloody Yank? It's running past. The door's still wide open. You've not closed it. He's in a rush. And he goes, "Are you sure you don't know where this Mister Wren is? He's not in that room that you."
I thought that was his room. Maybe he's a little bit farther down. I'm sorry. I mean, we were playing just a little while ago.
God,
And maybe he's at the bar.
God damn.
Sorry, I can't be more helpful.
Uh, Sir, but I'm sorry to ask. I know I'm busy, but if you're not Mister Wren here, can I actually ask you to vacate the room because this is not assigned to you?
That's fine. I'll pack up my stuff. You can tell I don't have much. Yeah. Can you direct me to where my room is? Actually, it should be under Jim. It should be Jim Rogers. I was supposed to be here. And for the record, I don't know if I said Jim before, but that was my intention. Whatever, I'm using the same first name, okay?
Right.
I just can't remember what that name was.
It was James.
Okay, well, in America, Jim goes by James. That works. That works. That's reasonable. Then actually, do you not want me? Do you want me to use a guile?
Yeah, I want you to do use a guile here.
Which is really funny because my guile is 0. Did I end up using a fate point when I knighted Muhammad or not?
Yeah,
Okay,
I would
okay,
been having you use a fate point for that.
okay. So I've got one more. All right. I'm gonna add a +2 to that because why not?
Yeah. The guy's going, right, seriously, sir, Kent, I still need you to come with me here, and then I can look for Mr. Wren. Okay.
Okay, fine. And I just put my Bible in my backpack, and I'm like, man, all these English folks just always telling me where to go.
So what ends up happening? So what ends up happening is he takes you out of your nice room, and he literally takes you down into it, and he's getting out of store to bring out the register, and they're going, well, this gentleman is saying he's booked under Mister. Is it Is it Jim or James Rogers? Did you say?
It's James Rogers. I go by Jim, but it's James.
All right. And they're looking and they're looking.
If they rolled low enough, that name better be on the register because I want that name on the register.
Oh yeah, it's he goes. I he goes. I do apologize, sir. We do find you, but I don't know why we direct. So you see this other shirt come up, right? You don't recognize this guy because I don't know why you were directed to this room because we have you booked down in third class.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand it either, but I mean, if somebody put you in first class, I mean, you're not say no. But yeah, I mean, I had a third class ticket. I mean, it's fine.
So he goes, if you follow me, sir, here, it's like
Yeah, I just immediately go with them.
they're gonna walk all the way down there, and it's what you're finding is basically, where when you were in first class, right? You were basically the rooms you could take quite a few different, quite a few, maybe 10 strides before you got to the next door to the next one, right?
Oh, there should be like one step in between.
Yeah, the
Thing.
basically this is like broom closets. People are getting in the third class section here.
See, remember, I don't like people, so the more cramped it is, and the more away from people it is, like this is perfect for me. I'm like, yes. So I'm living the dream right now. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I guess I'll, good luck with finding what was it, pen guy? Yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna be down here.
And this is when I wish I had like a D100 table of what would it's going to be found in the room when they open it.
Found in the other room.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what we're saying, folks. Kind of. So basically, in first class, you're you're taking about 10 nice long strides before you get into the next door. Here, he's just taking one stride, and each stride he's taking, there's door. One stride, door.
But my point was for those that are kind of asking, he is very much content in this situation because because there's so many people, people are far less likely to bother him.
Ah, right, because you can melt into the crowd. That's what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
It's part of his secret order. It's secret.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate I don't have a D. I haven't prepared a D100 table. That's my issue here.
Just do a random number generator on Google. You want me to do it?
Yeah, it's the table that's missing, not the die.
Not the die. It's the table. There.
Okay, well, I can make a table too. I can just Google it.
No, that's fine. No, I've got an idea.
I really want. Can I be? If you don't have a table, I would love to tell you what I would want in that other room.
Yeah, what is it you're wanting in that room?
The I feel like 2 doors down is like the most Victorian first class lady that has ever existed, and that's being tended to because she's just about to get into her swim outfit. And so like she's being tended to, and as soon as they open the door, she's like, "My word!" and you know, just like the most exasperated person. I think that'd be very funny.
Right.
I'm actually assuming that he's referring to the third class room you are being.
Oh, I assume in the third class it's just a bed.
Yeah,
it's actually going to be more like 10 beds.
Yeah.
Wherever.
No single rooms in third class, I'm afraid.
You realize this whole time that this has been going on, Redwood's still waiting for people.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. Well, actually, Redwood is reading the letters inside the safe.
And Blink made your table if you want it, just for the record.
It's a bit of a shoddy table, to be sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the workmanship on that. There, where's my guarantee if that breaks?
Yeah.
So after like 20 minutes, I'm just like, okay, I'm bored now, and I head up to, because I know exactly where his room is. So I just head up and I say, "You rang," but I assume by that point the guys have come back and told the story. Like, can we go through that timeline?
Well, actually, Worcester is not in his room. He's in the executive suite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's went to Sandham's room.
Right place.
What?
I mean, Worcester is not in his own quarters. He's in the stepfather's.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I would just go to Wooster's and be like, "Huh? Well, I thought I found him. Oh well."
The funny thing is, it's just down the corridor. You know, all these rooms have just been down the corridor. You've just have had these poor stewards trek how many goddamn floors?
So would I be able to hear Wooster if I go up there?
Actually, I would like to point out that while you can go from first class to second class to third class, no problem, going up from the third class isn't as easy.
Oh, yes.
I can do some kind of stealth roll. I don't know what that is. But...
No, it's just because
there is like bounces between the floors, like making sure. Do you actually have second class tickets? Because you're not allowed up here if you don't.
Yeah.
But
I want to find my way into the dumbwaiter. Can I find my way into the dumbwaiter?
What ends up happening is you eventually there. What happens is they're taking you, come to what's meant to be the room for James Rogers, open it, and what they find is they find this guy that's, in the process of derobing there.
I'm a little disappointed it wasn't a Victorian lady, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, but he goes a wee bit scarlet because, as you can see when he's derobing, he's got what appears to be a woman's bra on. There.
Cheers.
You just see him go. Why are you barging in? Don't you see "Do Not Disturbs" on the door? I'm bloody changing here.
The woman.
Oh no, a guy.
So what was I gonna say? So at some point, I assume I get up to Wooster. It just takes me a little while.
Yeah. And you embarrass the guy in front of the stewards, and
Did the and did the stewards tell Wooster all the stuff and deal with that?
yeah, the
Because
guy is currently getting a talking to about decency, and he's actually getting thrown off the ship.
like, sorry, bro.
Yeah, so
No, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. So is it a guy in ladies' clothing or a lady in guys' clothing?
no, it was a guy. Looks like he had a bra underneath his.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. I just was like, oh, if it's a lady in guys' clothing, maybe she's like trying to hide herself. Maybe we got another warrior or something. But no, okay.
No, no.
You got to make it boring. That's cool. So yeah. Hey, Wooster, you called for me like 2 hours ago.
You've got two very red-faced stewards that are behind him, giving him daggers.
Actually, Wooster himself doesn't do the sacking. It's probably the steward or something. Like,
It'll be the captain, right? Will be like standing, and he goes, right, and he just goes, "We'll talk when we get back to home port."
Who is he talking to?
The captain's just looking at the two stewards behind you.
Oh. I'm like, hey, no hard feelings, man.
Can I get a haste roll from you?
For me,
Yeah.
I'm not that fast. I just assume I take the hit.
Yeah,
let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, -1. Let's take the hit.
I'm giving them a +2. He's really pissed off at you there.
Fine.
Yeah, so he's gonna
I have zero problems with that.
so he's gonna so he is free. So you're gonna take 4 stress there, but it's
Cool.
gonna disappear because
That's one of those worth it.
well, not until we solve the mystery, at least.
at that point the captain's just gonna look at the steward that's just sacked you one and goes, right, you're off the ship immediately.
No, and then like I talked to no, it's fine, it's fine. We do this back home. No worries. I'll take care of it. Yeah, no, we're good. Let them stay.
I would point out that the British captain would go, no, that is unacceptable under
Exactly.
any circumstances on a British cruiser. He will be off the ship whether you like it or not.
No,
So.
Can I do a guile roll? No, not a guile. Flair, right?
Yep.
To try to convince him.
you can try it. There.
I got a 1. I got a 1 in flair. Let's do it. I got a 1.
The captain's just looks at the Ren and then just looks over to the Lord and he goes, my lord, he's not wanting to press charges. It's your decision.
Well, he has requested amnesty for them. And as he is a guest on the ship, I see no reason not to grant it. But however, they will not be serving among the guests.
Have him serve with me.
On their way back home.
Well, why don't he serve with me? And they can be like my sort of.
Under no circumstances are they to rise above the second class. Such behavior is not acceptable in these quarters.
I was thinking I'd put them into the 3rd class, sir.
Up to you, Captain.
And the captain, right, just looks at them and he just goes, right, move it.
Like throughout the trip, I'll just like sneak them up at random times. It's cool. I'm playing the long con. All right, so you wanted me, Wooster?
Yes, I. Aside of your penchants for mischief, I do recall you advertising yourself as some sort of an investigator.
I'm more of a soldier, but I can fake an investigation if you need me to.
It appears that my father-in-law has gone missing on the ship. He has not disembarked as far as we know it. We need to find him.
Hmm. That sounds supernatural to me.
Yes. Well, take it as you will.
Can
Something has disappeared from his safe as well. I have not deduced what.
Was it a box?
Yes.
It's always a box. The Can I use my extreme esoteric enthusiast to look for any clues that might be of a supernatural origin?
Right. Okay, so right, do an intellect roll when you're in the room. Okay.
I have one fate point left. Only one.
Yeah.
No. Did I? Did I?
Because,
Because I didn't use it on the other guy.
yeah, because I gave you a fate point for
Yeah, but I used that fate point and
yeah.
got a bad reroll. I used one. I used one to do the miracle, and then I didn't use the last one
Yeah, okay, fair.
because I was like, I'm
Because you're
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do +4, like the +2 to make it 4.
Yeah, sure.
I want to super investigate this. I want to investigate the mess out of it.
What you do is you take off the cross that you wear, okay?
Okay.
And you're just hanging it, and it's just as you're just saying, okay, you're kind of getting most of the point in the direction, and you're just holding it very steady, hanging from your hand, and it's like everywhere else in the room that there's the slight swaying of the cross, okay, because it's in your hand. Your hand's never
Yeah.
that steady. But it's when you get it to the safe and you hover over that actual, the obvious gap that's missing,
Yeah.
then that your cross ends up doing,
The
and it
pendulum
just
stops.
the pendulum stops with it literally hanging
Yeah.
at a 45-degree angle, and gravity's not affecting it.
It's finished its scrying. All right. I follow the direction of the cross.
Well, what happens is you you move it, and it's as you're bringing it around, it slowly moves and tweaks as you're moving around with it, and you find it. And what you're finding is as you're going up on the level that you are, it's like when you go from one end, it moves around, so there, but it's not from potentially the angle it's at. It's actually pointing,
I would surmise whatever we're seeking for is on a lower level.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that at all from how he was trying to describe that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just follow the direction of the thing, so I just start going down and start trying to follow.
And it's when you get down to the engine room, Okay, the engineer down in further and further down. It's when you're getting down into the engineering levels. And you're finally on one of the bottom levels, and you actually it's it goes from hanging like that to straight up
Okay.
at a 90 degree there,
Okay.
and you slowly follow it towards the aft of the ship there, and it's when you get right down to the aft there you find, and you're going past boilers, you're going past furnaces, you're going past massive coal pits there. You find basically what is just a the last basically the last section of the ship there, which is just like the best way to describe it is this is a section where it got basically the Olympics got double tolled there
Okay.
after the Titanic to improve their safety there.
What do I find?
What you find is you come up to the hall, and in it is it looks like the this part of the hall has been, so this is the innermost skin, not the outermost skin. I should be saying has been cut there.
Solid steel.
hmm
Does it look like it's from a sword, or like a hand axe, or what does the splash look like?
It's when you're looking at it, it's most bizarre because it's the actual metal. Okay, when you're looking at it, whoever's done it, it was at an intense heat because the metal there's variation in the color there.
Can I do an esoteric intellect roll to determine
Oh,
if I know
you
I
can
could do that?
you can just do a normal intellect roll because you've used up your fate points now.
Oh, I didn't know that had to be a fate point. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
you can still use your intellect.
Well, I got a 3.
You're kind of just hovering your hand over there, and and you're just getting and you're bringing the cross, over it, and you're just seeing crackling of electricity sparking between the actual outer line that's been formed of this hole and the actual cross there. And it's when you then shine the light all over this hole, right? You notice that while in the center is this circular hole, right? There's an outline, okay, that's in dark, which would appear to be the outline of a person if a light had been shined upon them. And you catch a brief smell of something. And you just
Is
give
it acrid?
it sulfuric. Smell of sulfur.
I look at the ex-captain and I say, uh, "Smell this. I think it smells like gunpowder."
Gunpowder? What
Has
is
a
it? The 5th of November?
I, I don't know, but come smell it. It's got that rotten egg, that sulfur gunpowder smell.
Oh. Well, we better investigate it deeper. Apparently, this hole goes between the hulls, and there should be enough coal space for an investigation.
Uh, I uh, um, I want to. Ooh, can I do this? Um, okay. I want a ruling here.
Right?
So I don't have any fate points yet.
Yeah.
However, I always spent a fate point to get barrier faith. I just get that. That's just a thing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, can my zone that I designate be myself?
Mm. No, it's more. It's you actually marking off like it. It could be around yourself because you like say transcribe a circle around you, for
Yeah.
example.
Hmm.
But it wouldn't be. It's not you putting like a electromagnetic field around you. It's more about you having to define a physical perimeter at least. There.
Okay. Um, so I want to. I want to make. Uh, I want to make a barrier of faith around the entrance to
Mm-hmm.
the entrance of the circle of doom, and I am going to um, make it a blinding light. So like that, it's like
All right.
yeah. So
You're
if
basically giving yourself a massive light source.
yeah, well, yeah, and if somebody doesn't have enough faith and wants to try to follow me in, they'll be blinded.
Okay.
And then I just start crawling in, and I actually take my sword and I put it out in front of me, kind of shindy with it.
And it's as you're shimmying through. Okay. What you're following is like that stench of sulfur's getting worse. Okay. So you kind of pull. So the way what happens first is you kind of pull yourself in, right? And it's basically you're like that. You having to breathe in. So and you're more like like imagine like kind of like if you put yourself right up against the wall and you're kind of just shimmying along a wall. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you're doing. You're just going through this very narrow space, but the stench of sulfur is heavy in the air. Okay, and
I just like put a decent amount of my
mm,
top shirt just kind of over
mm,
like a bandana.
mm, and you're just moving and moving and moving there, and it's just as you're moving, you you feel your foot collide with something.
Okay. Like, can I see it? Is it light enough to see? I have a giant spotlight.
As you're kind of like looking down, you see a rectangular object there.
Does it look like the? Does it look like a box?
Hmm. It looks like a box, and with it is another object that looks like a leather-bound journal.
The now you said that we're on a ledge. Is that what I got out of this?
Right. So what happens? Like so.
Wait, okay, pause. Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is if I try to get to and open this box, is it going to fall down to another part of the ship?
No. 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 No.
Okay, that's
Uh,
all I'm asking.
it's going to be a wee bit of wiggling around for you to, because it's not like you can bend down there
Okay.
because it's more like you trying to do something closer to a splits there
Oh, okay.
to actually do it. Okay, so it's
Does it have a lock on the box?
there is a lock there, and it just seems to be like one of these simple kind of mechanic, simple slide. You just slide it in.
Can I
From a
try
road.
to unlock it?
You can't.
As in, I don't know the ability, or I don't have the space to do so.
You try it. It just
Oh,
for some
okay.
reason, you know,
I figured it'd be like an intelligent roll or something.
no, no, no. It's just you simply try it, and it's super glued. It's literally
Okay.
stuck fast there.
Oh, so it's not that I can't unlock it; it's that the thing, like the lock, is glued shut.
Well, that's what your suspicion is would be.
Do I have enough room to try to slash it with my sword? Even if it's like a downward thing. I mean, I got a mystical piece of metal. Why can't I, I can at least try to break the lock?
You try it. Nada.
Does it give off any purple, black, green waves of when I hit it? Because
There's
this thing should at least, like, there should be like a dent or something if it's just a natural lock. But if it's
no,
like an evil thing, right?
no, no, no. What happens is you bring your blade down, and it's just halted there.
Like a force field?
Hmm.
Like,
And there's just a ever slight green. No, no, a gleam, I should say, not green, gleam.
oh,
Okay,
okay.
of a silvery light
Hmm.
that just seems to be holding the very tip of your saber in place.
That annoys me. The is the book in the silver shield?
No, that's not.
All right. I want to I want to open the book.
Mhm. The the first words you're seeing is the journal of Philip Redwood is what's on the actual first page.
I don't really know who that is, so I'm gonna I want to skip to like page 7. Is there a page 7? Like I want to go to like a random page.
It just seems to be the pages that you're looking at seem to be just like a normal, just like a everyday journal. Okay, it's only until you get to the last page, the writing, which was quite steady and precise on the last page, becomes quite. Best way to would sound like it would suggest that a man in a rush. Okay, it's not precise.
The
There's
hurried handwriting. Okay.
very hurried there, and the writing says to my son Wooster. If you read if you read this today, if you read this, it means potentially I've not been around to prepare you for what's to come.